answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
When Liberty Valance rode to town, the women folk would hide, they'd hide. When Liberty Valance walked around, the men would step aside, 'cause the point of a gun was
So we will move on to our major item of business for today, which is file 22-021, the applicant is Fortune Builders. This is block 93.09. It's lot 42.01. The address is 3176 Route 27. This application is for preliminary site plan approval with bulk variances to construct a 6,600 square foot addition to an existing office building on a 1.5 acre site in the C3 zone. Mr. Hambro, good evening. We have previously heard some testimony on this. I know there's been some changes. We really don't want to start all over again, but I know you have some changes, and perhaps you want to do that for us. I believe you only have one witness tonight.
Correct.
And do you want to just go over briefly the variances and the waivers that you...
Surely.
I don't want to rush you or anything.
No, no problem,
We've
Mr.
done
Chairman.
some of this, so...
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, quite a bit. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, board members, Mr. Shammy. We were here back in October, and then we came back here again.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
You can't? I'm sorry. Is that better?
Yeah, we have two hearing impaired people, so you have to put the mic
Is that better?
Still pretty soft.
Hello?
Oh, no?
You gotta hit the button now.
No?
Now you should.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
better? Good.
Speak up a little too.
I'm so soft-spoken, I know. It's unusual. We were here in October, and then we came back with some revisions to the plan in February, a night I'd like to forget about. And now we've revised the plan, we've had some discussions, and we've revised the plan to make some significant changes. The main issue previously was the buffer to the rear, and there's affordable AH zone is to the rear of the parking lot. And so what we've done now is we've met the 30-foot buffer requirement. There are still some, because that buffer requirement requires a berm. We don't have a berm, so I think there's still a variance for the berm. And the width of some of the screening, I think we have about 10-foot and double row evergreen plantings behind that. So, but we do now meet that 30-foot that the board had expressed concern about. We also do have, and I did renotice because so much time had gone by that I felt it was the best method of moving forward, and I provided those notices to the board as well. So we did make a decrease in the size of the building as well. It is now actually 5,976 square feet in total, 2,988 square feet per floor versus the 6,600, which was the original plan. So that's been decreased as well. There are variances with respect to this. This is an existing site, an existing building that's already there. This was for a second building of just under 6,000 square feet. So the existing parking lot is there. We're not really changing very much in terms of configuration, but we do have a request for a parking aisle width of 24 feet, whereas 25 feet is required. We had talked about that previously as well. There's some requirements for elevated pedestrian walkways in parking lots with greater than 50 parking spaces, which we do have greater than, although we've minimized the parking down to, I think we had 90 or so last time, and now we're down to, I believe it's 79, and 74, even better. And we do have electric vehicle parking, electric vehicle spaces as well, so we're compliant with the ordinance on that. There's also a waiver or variance for screening of parking within the front and side setbacks, although we do have significant screening in there as well. I put that into the notice. We only have one loading space They're supposed to be under the ordinance, one for each business. These are all actually offices, I believe, almost all offices. That was off-street loading spaces. And for the screener, the same. If the businesses are for other than professional offices, most of this is offices, though. And then I already talked about the 5-foot-high berm and the 30-foot buffer area, and 20-foot wide screen plantings. We also had, for an increase in the size of the existing pylon sign to identify new businesses or offices. And there's also a waiver from providing an off-road bike path along Route 27 frontage of the property. So that is the waivers and variances. We did, like I said, make some significant changes. We have Mr. Galante, who is an engineer, but he can also provide planning testimony. He's a licensed planner as well. He was qualified at the last meeting. I don't know if you want to swear him in again.
Okay, he was sworn in previously, so he need not be sworn in again. I will remind you, sir, you remain under oath.
Yes.
Okay, my concern is, and I have my notes, I can go back to them if you don't recall, but I believe he was qualified as an engineer only at that time. He got a different planner, is that right?
No, he was qualified as both a
qualified for
plan.
both?
The gentleman who was here in February,
Right,
the meeting I'd like to forget.
Valentine's Day, is that why you'd like to?
Yeah, that was part of it.
There was no love on that day? Is that-
Hello?
Is that your problem?
But that gentleman was only an engineer. He is both an engineer and a planner.
And he was previously qualified in both capacities?
I believe he was. I have the transcript. I can look through it, but
Well,
Okay,
Okay,
have a
just tell
recollection.
us real quick.
Yeah, my,
Is it, you qualify as an engineer, we know that.
Yep.
As a planner, you got that at the same time?
I'm a licensed professional planner in the state of New Jersey. I testify in front of numerous boards for various applications. More recently, I did a use variance application for a Burger King in Rutherford, and I've testified in front of numerous boards for use variances and planning testimony throughout the state.
We can accept that.
Yeah,
I believe.
just spell your name for me one more time, because I just don't want to go back at my notes.
Sure, my name is Michael Galante, Galante.
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure I have it. Thank you.
So, engineer, planner. Go ahead.
thank you. So we'll proceed at this point, if it's okay with the board, with Mr. Galante's testimony. Mike, if you could run the board through what kind of changes were made in particular.
I think the battery was...
No, the only person that can work that mic is Mr. Sullivan in the black shirt and gray tie. Everybody else has trouble.
Oh, you're
with it.
Mr. Sullivan. Finally get the meeting.
This is how we see if you're really an engineer, if you can make that work.
I could probably just pull this.
Just some housekeeping before we go
Hello?
further.
Yep.
1 second, Mike.
Yep.
1 second. In terms of the board members, I mean, I re-noticed, but in terms of the board members who were at the October meeting, I'm not sure if Ms. Patel was present, right?
Not even in February, so I missed both of them.
Okay. Ms. Connor was here, Mr. Salvi, Mr. Bierman, yourself, Mr. Weiss, Mr. Luton, and Mr. Patel were all here.
Ms.
Was
Patel,
that's
do you
what I
wanna-
have in the transcript from October.
Well, it depends on to what extent this witness will testify. There's been substantial changes to your plan as I see it, so I expect he will summarize the whole plan.
Okay.
If
Do you
she's
want to
comfortable.
consider this as a new application, or do you want to, how do you want to do this? If
Um,
it's a new application, she can stay. If you want to consider it as a continuation.
1, 2, 3,
she can,
4,
she has
5,
not
6.
reviewed the old stuff.
I'm fine if she hasn't reviewed the transcript, if she doesn't participate, that's fine with me. I think we have
Do you want
sufficient.
to stay, or it's
No,
your
I
choice?
don't have to. I mean, if you don't want to do it as a new, then I can step out. It's fine.
We have 7 board members.
You don't-
I
you
mean,
don't
you have a quorum either way.
It's up to you.
Right.
The
But
court-
here's the
that's
thing,
not an
you can
issue. We
stay
have a
here.
quorum,
Well,
correct.
as a
Either
board
way.
member, you can ask questions
Sure.
and see
But
what's going on.
I'm not allowed to.
But you could
This
vote
this
on
would be
it.
in terms of the vote, correct?
I can sit through, but that's fine. fine.
You can sit,
I can-
unless
I
you
don't
wanna
mind.
leave,
Yeah.
it's up to you.
And this way, in case we don't finish tonight, which I don't know how that.
I'm hopeful not that we don't have that,
Then
yes.
she could
Oh,
review and in
yeah,
the
Mr.
future
Chamber,
participate.
we're gonna
Yeah.
forge ahead, like George Washington.
There we go.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead, Michael.
Hello, that's working?
Yes.
Okay. My name's Mike Galante,
Yes.
professional engineer, design engineer, who worked on the plan. I'm the owner of MG Engineering Associates LLC. The plan that I'm gonna have to pull this up here. The plan that we have in front of you today is
You
the
can't-
plan.
Mike, they need to be able to see that
Oh,
on the
oh, I'm
screen,
sorry.
At anyone who might be
We just
watching.
pull this closer so
That's
they
fine.
can, yeah. Okay, so the plan in front of us this evening is a plan entitled Site Plan for Fortune Builders LLC, Proposed Office Expansion, 3176 Lincoln Highway, South Brunswick, New Jersey. What you're looking at here in front, what I have on display in front of the board is the site and landscape plan dated 4/20/2022, last revised, revision 4, per township comments, 4/15/24.
And that's the same plan that was
Is there a
submitted.
sheet number?
This is sheet number 4. This is the site plan.
Right, we have that.
Site
Okay.
and landscape plan.
Which,
Yep.
which you submitted.
Yes, we submitted a full package, but I wanted to get down to the changes that were proposed, so I can just give a brief description. We have the full set of plans here. If the board would like me to, I can go through all the sets of
No,
plans.
but I mean, we
Yeah.
don't need to number it because it's been submitted.
It's been submitted, yes. Since the last meeting, we've met with township staff and made some significant changes to the plan. One of the major changes that we made is we modified the footprint of the building. So now, if you recall from the previous plan, the footprint pretty much lined up with the existing office building. So what we're doing now is we're bumping the building back. And by doing that, we don't violate a setback. We have a 14.9-foot setback, which is in compliance with the code. We have a 2,988 square foot each story building. So the total square footage is 5,976. What that allowed us to do is make the building wider and narrower, which allowed us to achieve a 30-foot buffer to the rear. And some of the other items that came with that, which was a positive benefit in my opinion, is we were able to add additional landscaping in the rear, modify our stormwater management basin. We went from, if you recall from the earlier meetings, we had an underground basin. Now we have an above-ground rain garden, water quality type structure. And I'll talk about stormwater as I go further on with the presentation. But in my opinion, the above-ground rain garden is a much better feature for the site. I think the Environmental Commission was very much open to having a rain garden or some kind of green infrastructure piece to the project. So we feel like that was a big benefit. It also allowed us to reduce our disturbance. It allowed us to reduce our impervious surface. So by doing that, we were able to stay under the threshold where we would be classified as a major development for stormwater, which, is less of an impact, less paving, less stormwater runoff, better benefit in the long term for the township. Additional modifications to the plan included the fencing along the rear. We show a section of fence on the eastern property line. We do have 8 parking stalls that come to a dead end up in the east, which still maintains a 16.6-foot buffer, and we still beefed up the landscape on the eastern portion of the property. I would also note that we are proposing a total of 6 charging parking spaces. So that'll be a total of 3 dual chargers. So we'll be able to have an EV chargers for 6 vehicles. Other than that, with the exception of some, reduction in the plan, they were the major changes that occurred since the last meeting. So the loading stayed the same. The dumpster enclosure stayed the same. We redid the fire truck circulation. We received an email from the fire official saying that they had no further comments. And we do have some engineering review letters and some planning letters that we can comply with, we can address. There's some additional landscaping requested. There was some some stormwater management comments that we can work with the board professionals to resolve. And the one thing I'll say too about the basin, it's a positive draining basin, where before we were concerned about having to put a pump out there and pump it out. With this basin, with this stormwater management basin, it's above ground, it's going to positively drain, so we don't have to worry about the groundwater issues and going underground with the limiting zone with the rock and the groundwater, because this site has a very high groundwater table. So it was really, making these changes really provided a huge benefit for the site and the design. Other than that, that's pretty much the changes that happened to the plan. If the board has any questions about the plan, I can surely go through in further detail. But I believe Mr. Hambro talked about the number of parking spaces. We have 74 parking spaces, where 72 are required. We feel like it's much better plan for the borough, for the township. So. That's all I really have, unless there's any comments from the board.
Yeah,
Or
so you mentioned about a fence along the, I guess you said it was the eastern or the north?
there's a 6-foot high fence proposed on the eastern property line, and that fence actually lines up with the residential properties on the east. So the intent was to provide additional screening and buffering on that side, so to further buffer the proposed parking lot from those areas.
And that's a solid fence? That's not a,
That's a solid fence, vinyl fence, yep.
okay.
Mr. Galante, you keep saying 74, our planner has 79 parking spaces? Am I,
We got 24, 17.
There's 74 on the plan. I believe it just got missed when the plan was revised. I think
okay,
that
so
just
it
got
is
left in.
74?
It's 74.
Okay, that's fine. So 74 parking spaces?
Yes, sir. Yep.
We're in agreement on that. Okay. Somebody sat and counted 74 parking spaces.
I just did.
Okay. That's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. I think we talked about the fire official and the email. I just want to make sure the board
We have that
received
here,
that.
yep.
Good. There were some comments from the Environmental Commission, and number one was more trees on the south buffer were recommended to screen residents on Lynette Court. 1 row of deciduous trees is included. The commission recommends changing to evergreens, which provide better screening at a low level. We suggest either removing 7 parking spaces to provide an additional row of evergreen screening, or provide an additional different screening method in that area. What?
If I could just add a comment or question, so before we address that, our, excuse me, our Shade Tree Commission is looking for a different type of tree.
Yes.
If you guys will agree to it, I would say that I'm okay with you gentlemen sitting down with the Shade Tree Commission, coming up with the appropriate trees there, talking with our planner, Mr. Bignell, and the Shade Tree Commission, and see if there's anything different you can do back there. If there is, great, let's go ahead with it. 'Cause I don't think I need to get into the weeds, so to speak, with the types of trees in the back there. That's what we pay that gentleman there for, and our Shade Tree Commission to handle for us.
Surely.
If those.
That's acceptable. That's satisfactory.
Right, I mean, if, Mr. Sham, you understand where we're going at with it?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So would you be agreeable to that, gentlemen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that addresses the comments.
Yeah, that addresses the shade tree and some of the environmental commission, because I'd like for that to be handled, but I don't think we're gonna be able to decide exactly what should go there tonight, is my point. But Mr. Whites, go ahead.
So let me just interrupt.
We
for a
got
second.
3 people talking.
May I?
Go ahead.
So, putting the environmental aside for a second, with respect to the shade tree requirements, the motion, if a motion should be made today, would be that the applicant will satisfy, will
Comply with the shade.
comply with, will install trees of the volume, size, type, and species as recommended by the Shade Tree Commission, or the Shade Tree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then, Mr. Whites, you can address the
Well,
environmental.
I just wanted to point out the comments that you just looked at from the Environmental Commission were the comments from the previous review.
Right.
And there are additional comments, not about trees or screening, but about stormwater runoff.
Okay,
that the
hold on,
commission made.
hold on. Those are two separate things.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how trees and buffering is an environmental commission issue, Mr. Whites. Would you explain that to me?
Well, certainly there's residential next to it. And
I
think it's-
agree, but
and-
I'm
and
not
it's-
sure that's an environmental issue. I believe that's a planning issue.
I think it's an environmental issue. If you look at
I'm
the
not
scope
sure I
of-
agree.
If you look at the scope of,
Yes,
Uh,
I
as
think
defined
that's,
as the
for-
responsibilities
I
of the
believe
Environmental
that's for Mr. Bignell to talk to us about.
Well,
So-
I mean, they increased the buffer to the required 30 feet, so.
Right, so
I
that
mean,
takes care of that.
it's
Okay.
light pollution, it's noise, all those things are environmental.
I understand, but that's something that the planning commission the planning people should be doing. The environmental commission shouldn't be telling us to be taking parking spaces out and planting more trees.
We'll work with them anyway.
Well, at this point, what spaces would be marked out? Because it looks like they increased the buffer to 30 feet with the 2 rows of.
I agree, but I'm saying that's a planning thing, that you're satisfied that they've taken
Yes.
care of the problem.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I don't think there were any other than that, in terms of those comments, which apparently had been addressed, and those remained, I guess, some of those comments?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Those comments that were in the updated memorandum from the Environmental Commission, are we saying that those had been satisfied in terms of?
Well, I believe Mr.
Okay.
Bignell tells us that that's taken care of.
Okay, great. I don't believe there were any, I mean, we understand that there's a water issue in the town, which is an ongoing, and it will at some point, so,
That's-
yeah. We'll
Every applicant that comes
Correct.
in is told the same thing. That's out of our hands. I don't, we're later this year, perhaps? Is that we're not even sure of that.
When DEP decides that they're gonna make adjudication on this,
Yes.
we'll get water here, Mr. Hero, okay?
Yeah.
And Mr. Campbell, is that a correct statement?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Very correct.
So, you know, when we throw this stuff up to the states, it's like throwing the coins up to God.
And I may be growing hair by the end of this year, too, so we'll see what happens.
God bless. So there are some comments on Mr. Bignell's report, which we can.
Let's go through the reports and make sure we don't leave anything out, okay?
Sure.
The fire official, that was cleared up. We took care of that business. The Shade Tree Commission, we did. Public Works, Police, and all that was taken care of. We're now up to the Bignell planning consultants. We resolved the parking issue. There's 74 spaces. The violation was parking in the front yard setback and side yard setback, which you are seeking a variance for.
Correct.
I believe.
Most of that was pre-existing also.
Yes,
Yes.
it was a pre-existing condition.
On page 3, the parking and loading requirements in the Zone C3, violation for the size of the, what, Mr. Bignell?
The violations would be for the one shared loading zone, which he had previously mentioned, and just the size itself of it doesn't comply with the standard.
Okay, good. The rest of that is fine. The violation is for the buffer and screening at the bottom of page 3. And that is a violation, and you're okay with that bottom one?
Yeah, I believe it was for the berm, if I remember.
Berm, right?
The berm.
Right, berm.
Right, so you've put the trees in, but no berm,
Correct.
and that's
And
that.
we meet the 30-foot now.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. On page 4, the issue of the facade and one sign per tenant, more information required. Do you have any sense of what you're gonna do with the signage?
Go ahead.
The sign, we are, as per the plan, we're going to actually set it back 10 feet. It's going to be a 30 square foot sign.
Okay,
I think that's what was discussed at the previous meetings.
okay.
Mr. Chairman, I think we're talking about the facade sign, not the freestanding sign.
The facade,
They would have to comply and be submitted at a separate time.
okay.
And
But
if
you will comply with the sign ordinance?
Yes.
Obviously. So I think that's what we can say at this point.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, good enough. That's
I think that,
everything that I can see. Did I leave anything out, Mr. Bignell?
I believe the only comment that wasn't addressed in the prior testimony would be item 10D, just provide a little testimony to explain the architectural appearance of the building and the building
Oh,
addition.
okay. The building architecture style.
Yeah, so we did provide testimony in the first hearing, but essentially the building architecture is going to match the existing building. It's going to be very similar size, type, color. We're going to match the building heights. And essentially it's going to be maybe somewhat of a more modern look because you have new materials, but more or less it's going to blend in with the existing structure.
Okay. Good enough. And that's it for you, Mr. Bignell?
One quick question. The fence that's proposed on the east side, is that going to extend in the rear as well, or only on the east?
Right now, we have the fence extending on the eastern side to buffer where these 8 parking stalls are. We did not propose a fence all the way along the back.
Okay.
Since we did meet the 30-foot buffer, and we felt like with the screening, and then we're talking about adding additional screening, we felt like that would be adequate.
Okay. I mean, if the board is so inclined, I mean, just adding the fence in the rear would just provide more. If there is a concern, that would just help solve that issue, but it's up to the board.
There would be evergreens back there, is that right?
Yes. And we actually show, so the plan calls out for dark green American arborvitae.
Okay.
There's 61 of them.
So,
Yeah.
both summer and winter, there would be blockage. The people behind would not see any.
Yeah, yes, and our thought was with the existing trees back here, it would just be a fence in the woods,
Okay.
buffered on both sides.
Does the board have an inclination for a fence back there, or are we satisfied with just the evergreens back there? Anybody?
10F in Mr. Bignell's report.
No, we're talking about a fence back there first, Mr.
Oh, no,
Whitman, I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Yes, Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
I just noticed, and I thought before that in the last review, that the fence would be along the back, and I thought that would satisfy the lack of a berm, but in comparing the site plan and the grading plan, all the commercial activity is at elevation 101, and the grade at where even if there was a back fence, the grade there would be 95, which is 6 feet lower. So, and even the arborvitae there, I mean, the people will be looking over the arborvitae initially until they're very big at the commercial activities. So how do you think that could be addressed?
Hold on. Mr. Bierman remembers it
Yeah,
differently.
so because they didn't have the 30-foot, they were gonna put a fence, but I'm good either way, whatever we want. We got the 30-foot, that was something I pushed for, Mr. Hambro knows that.
Does anybody else want a fence
Yeah.
back there?
No?
Mr.
I mean, I wouldn't, if you're gonna do something, and I'm just trying to, I'm not saying I want it, I wouldn't want, the plastic fence, like you took the fiberglass, like you're putting on that east side. If anything, because you're growing trees there, I'd like to see, if you're gonna put something, I'd like chain link, just so people couldn't go through or something of that nature. But I don't need to see it, I'm just saying that would be my only thought.
well, I,
Just for
yeah.
pedestrian passage, going to Route 27 to cut through. And Mr. White's, does that make sense to you, that comment, just like a chain link or something there?
Well, yeah, that's a different issue. I'm just saying that because of the grading,
Right?
the fence and even the arborvitae initially will not provide screening. Because of the difference in elevation from the commercial area to that area that you're talking about, where the screening is.
You know,
They'll start off at 6 feet, but they'll get much taller, obviously.
I mean, it slopes down 6 feet, so,
Yeah.
you know, you put in an arborvitae in and it's 8 feet, and you put in Even if you put in a 6-foot fence, you're looking over the top of it.
Right, so what you're saying is it doesn't matter really the difference between a fence if it's going to be
Yeah,
6
well,
feet
the question
anyway,
is,
right?
How can the screening be improved?
Okay,
Well, I think
again,
there's-
I missed the question, Mr. White, I'm sorry, I just didn't hear what you said.
I'm saying is that because of the difference in grading, the question is how can the screening be improved from the
Oh,
current
so
plan?
you're saying that the grade back there is much lower than the parking lot?
It's 6 feet lower.
Yeah.
The parking lot slopes, but where the cars and trucks come in and, that's 6 feet higher.
Or
All right, so
solid.
let me ask the question again, whether, we'll talk about what kind of fence. Does anybody else want a fence back there?
I don't see the reason.
What about over here?
Well, I think more of a solid base type of a fencing.
No, I'm not asking you what kind of fence.
You
I'm
want a
saying,
fence.
do you want a fence or don't you?
It depends on how fast these trees grow, too.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, yeah, it does.
But
I mean, if
I
you
Just
don't
to
have
give
a
you,
fence,
just to kind of give you, I'm sorry, I don't want to
the
cut you off,
fence
sorry.
got less screening.
So the grade at the parking lot is 98.25, and the grade where the trees are going to be planted is around 96, 97. So with those trees there, you're going to have, if you're looking at the building, yes, the building slopes up, it's going to get higher, but at the parking lot level where cars are going to be parking, you're going to have a row of evergreens that are densely proposed.
it's a double row.
A double row of evergreens, which will provide adequate screening. And we thought, obviously, I think about these things as I'm putting the plans together. I'm looking at fences, I'm looking at ways to make the buffer better. And one thing I thought about is, okay, if I put on the back property line, well, now it's a fence in the woods. If I put it up by the parking lot, now that makes maintenance to the stormwater some more difficult, and also it could make it out of sight, out of mind. And when things get out of sight, out of mind on a site, they overgrow, they don't get maintained. And I feel like it keeps it open, it keeps it in public view, and obviously it shows a good feature. It shows a green infrastructure, stormwater management feature, which obviously, as all municipalities are moving to with their MS4 programs, their pollution reduction plans, this is a positive development to showcase, honestly, for people coming to the site.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
I don't wanna see a fence there. I definitely don't wanna see one on the.
All right, let me do this way.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this way. How many people here want to see a fence? You want to see a fence?
No, I don't think it would matter now because of the difference in grade.
Okay, let's just,
No.
okay, all right. How many people don't want to see a fence? 1,
Yeah, I don't
2,
wanna see a fence.
3, 4, 5. Okay, no fence.
Sold.
I just do whatever they want. It's okay with me.
Okay.
Okay, so no fence. The trees will serve as a buffer. The grade will be there, and you will be able to do maintenance without worrying about being able to get at it with a fence in the way. That's your reasoning.
And it becomes a site feature, too.
That's
It really
fine.
does.
No,
yeah.
so that's a logical thing to do, and the record will indicate that.
Thank you.
Okay, what else do we have? Did you have anything else, Michael?
Item F, the location of the abutting multifamilies aren't shown, but I believe with the 30-foot buffer and the screening, it should be okay.
Okay.
But that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Now we have an engineer too.
Yes.
Good evening. You're sitting there quietly, waiting for your turn. Let's look at the engineering report. How are you, Darren?
Good, how are you?
Good. I looked at this morning. I don't remember seeing anything that was, what here do you want to point out to us?
5 and 6, it was previous waivers they had requested.
Which one?
5 and 6, it's just the elevated walkways. They had requested a waiver from
Oh, right.
before. I just, for the purpose of the testimony, they might want to just touch on that again,
Right.
because I don't think that's come up.
Right. I did think we talked about that, but let's talk about it again.
Yes, I recall the testimony that we provided previously. So right now, the sidewalks on the site are all flush with the asphalt. So what we're proposing is a series of bollards along the frontage. If we were to add a 6-foot cut to the parking lot, what that does is that lowers the site, makes the stormwater more difficult to design, and ultimately doesn't really provide much of a benefit. But we're areas where we can provide curbing and provide elevated areas to meet the code. We do provide curbing along the rear, along the side, near the dumpster enclosure, and we provide curbed islands in the parking lot. So right now, in order to mitigate the impacts of not having curb, we have a series of bollards for the walkway area so that pedestrians can walk without worrying about a car pulling up and blocking the walkway.
Okay, thank you.
I-
And
I
Darren, you're
think-
okay with that?
I'm good with that, yeah.
Okay, good. Anything else?
Through. One thing that
Planted islands, is that?
One thing I would just mention for the board is, as he mentioned, this project became a minor stormwater project. So the rain garden they are proposing actually isn't a requirement by BMP and stormwater regs, but they are requiring it for the betterment of the site. I think a rain garden is a good idea back there to reduce the rate of runoff. I know there was a question about the environmental commission. I think I'll let the gentleman maybe touch on it first, and I could weigh in after, because they had some concerns on a newer memo. I don't know if we've reached any testimony on that stormwater question yet.
Right, we have not testified about that yet.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'll wait for that testimony before I comment on it.
Okay, is there any other issues that you want to?
Nope, it's all relatively
Okay,
minor.
do you want to do the rainwater?
So you're going to now respond or speak about the Environmental Commission additional memo dated,
April 26th, 2024, to the Planning Department from the Environmental Commission, signed by Emma Von Thun, the chair. And essentially what the memo or review talks about is the stormwater management basin, and it makes references to the geotechnical investigation report, where it talks about the test pits, the depth of rock, the permeability of the soils. And under the previous plan where we had an underground basin, what we proposed to do is dig out a section of the ground so that we could actually get percolation and infiltration. However, under the current condition, we have an underdrain in the rain garden, because we're actually able to get the basin higher up off the ground, so we're not close to any limiting zones, and we don't have to meet groundwater recharge since we're not a major major stormwater management project. And therefore, these comments, while they do reference the report, they do reference the report correctly, but the context is more for the underground basin than the rain garden that we're proposing as part of this project.
Will you be doing testing?
We've done testing. We did infiltration testing, and the design includes we're going to have a sloped base, call it a basin, rain garden. It's going to have biosoil, and underneath the biosoil, there's an underdrain. So that underdrain, the water is going to come off the parking lot, filter into the basin, go into the rain garden, infiltrate down, and drain out through the underdrain. Higher magnitude storms, will go through any low flow orifices or even through the outlet control structure. But majority of the storms will, when you get a water quality design storm, it'll go into the basin, filter in through the rain garden, and go out in a positive way. Where before we were, we're an underground basin. You got to be deeper. You got to have certain depths to the pavement. It pushed us closer to our limiting zones, which required us to excavate further and put a sand bed in. In this case, we don't have to do that.
And did you share the results of the testing with the engineers, or?
That's in the stormwater report.
Okay, and you had access to that there?
I did, and just one thing I'd like to touch on is there are actually two types of bioretention basins. So there's one that is with infiltration and no underdrain. This project isn't required by stormwater regs to have that. So what the intent is basically for the storm to hit the filtration material in the soil. It'll get clean water quality through the root system of the plantings that they put in the rain garden. And at that point, anything that can seep through will. But if it's not draining, then it'll go into the underdrain and out the outlet control structure at that point. What I did note was that the seasonal high water table in this area was about 1.5 feet, 2 feet higher than the bedrock. So it might be a perched water situation, but there is some potential for some of this water to infiltrate and not go through the underdrain system, but the underdrain system is there to make sure that this system functions properly.
So if it backs up, you go out with pumps and
Well,
clean it out?
we're
Is
going to
that
be
what-
subject to an O&M agreement, and the applicant is going to have to maintain the basin.
It'll flow out by gravity, not by pumps, though. There's enough positive pitch.
It's
in the
positive
underground.
gravity, yeah, flow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no need to have emergency pumps?
Not in this case, no.
Okay. Which is what we've seen in the past, obviously. This system won't require them.
No.
Mr. Weiss, is that, you had some questions on the.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, so any excess runoff will go into the, where, into the detention basin of the residential community behind it?
So we're proposing a reduction in runoff for the 2 and 10-year storms. So when stormwater comes from this area, the parking lot, it'll go into the rain garden area. Some of it will infiltrate into the underdrain, which will then ultimately discharge, but that'll be at a much slower rate. And then if we get a higher magnitude storm, it will overflow, but all the rates are reduced from pre-existing rates.
But where's
And
it discharged to?
the discharge point is at the corner of the property, and the engineer is requiring that we provide calculations to show that we're not going to increase the flow at any point
And that
between the two
discharges to
properties.
The residential community?
It'll go to that residential, like, low basin area to the rear.
Okay, I mean, the only concern that I had about looking at the drawings and Google Maps was that the discharge there goes to the residential community, the detention basin, which has concrete flow channels that go directly to the Okies Brook, right? And discharges to Okies Brook right near the backyard of some of the residential residences. So that's why there was concern that, so as long as CME and you were saying that there will be no greater off-site runoff, is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Yes.
And then what he's doing is he's controlling the flow through the outlet control structure. So he has orifices set in there to where if you have a larger storm than a water quality, it'll overflow, but it's still going to discharge at a slower rate. And there's going to be no increase as well in the rates of runoff. So that's how he's controlling
It'll
it.
be less than before.
Less than before. And that's also the same existing discharge point existing, correct?
Okay.
Yes.
So if you want to just clarify that.
That's all.
Okay. Are there any other issues as far as you're concerned? Okay. Any other testimony that we
I don't believe so. I mean, if you want, if we can, I'll ask you very quickly, in terms of the waivers and variances, in terms of the parking, in terms of, in terms of the size of the spaces, in terms of the elevated pedestrian, those are either, because there's existing parking area, if it's a better design the way it is versus trying to incorporate those elevated walkways in there.
Yes.
And in terms of the design that we've done, that in terms of the buffer and the berm, it's given what we have. This is a better design, and it's not going to be a substantial detriment to the zone plan and the zoning ordinance.
No.
Okay. And overall master plan, it's in compliance with that as well.
Speak up, please.
Yeah, the question was, will the plan provide any detrimental impacts? And in our opinion, the construction of the site will improve the area, it'll improve an existing viable business, it'll allow for new businesses to come into the township. It'll also, it was designed in such a way to maintain buffers. While there are some waivers, there are some variances. Some of the variances and waivers were existing nonconformities and a result of existing nonconformities. In our opinion, the implementation of the EV charging stalls, the construction of the new structure, the rain garden, the enhanced landscaping, all will provide a net positive impact to the area. And the stormwater management improvements will ultimately provide a net reduction in stormwater management, better water quality, which will improve the stormwater management plan for the township.
Okay. I have no further questions for Mr. Galante.
Okay. Any questions to the right?
No questions, just comments there, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Took us a while to get here.
And then we're gonna have to open to the public. So, questions to the right, questions to the left. Mr. Luton?
Yes, I believe that the CME report under B11 talks about the aesthetics. I remember in the previous, when you came before the board previously,
Is that B or D? B or D, did you say?
I'm sorry.
Be like in boy, right? Mr. Luton?
Yes, B11, the aesthetics of the proposed building should be discussed with the board, et cetera, et cetera. We had asked for the elevation drawing to show both buildings together, and I haven't seen that. Do you have that?
That would be A11.
A11, not B.
Correction, A11,
Yeah,
sorry.
because I'm looking at B as one down,
A11,
sorry, Mr.
yeah.
Luton.
Yeah, we provided floor plans and elevations with the submission.
Except you didn't, yes, but you didn't address the comment from before, which was to show the existing elevation that this would be joining to. It's really hard to tell how, what it's gonna look like without seeing that in the elevation. You have it?
I have what you have, which is the, obviously what we submitted was the architectural plan.
Okay, can we do that for the final, please?
Yes.
Okay. Give us a picture of what the building's gonna look like side to side. I'm sure the computer can put.
Yeah, we can have our architect prepare something.
Yes. I think there was some testimony that he provided in terms of that it's going to be substantially similar to
Correct,
the
but
existing.
you
but
wanna
yeah.
see the elevation side by side and
Yes, I think.
make
Yes,
it look
I-
pretty, so Mr. Luton likes.
Yes.
He's both an architect and an engineer, and he wants,
I'm not a licensed architect. I am a licensed engineer.
is an architect, not
Want to
licensed.
be architect, I was.
So, he wants to see pretty.
Okay. As part of the
The engineer part of me has the next question.
Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah, this is under D, storm drainage.
Yes.
It said I just want to confirm, I'm not sure if I heard correctly. The applicant's engineer should submit calculations that verify there will be no increase in stormwater runoff rates for a 100-year storm. As well, in addition, the proposed project will be increasing the volume of stormwater runoff from the property. Design engineer should preside a signed and sealed letter certifying that the increased stormwater volume will not negatively impact the joint. So there's two deliverables there. One, did you get the calculations?
He testified that he would provide them during
So
his
you
testimony.
haven't seen them yet?
I haven't seen them yet, but with the reductions in the 2 and 10-year storm, I'd expect to see that in the 100-year. We just want it verified.
Yeah, I'm very concerned about the drainage. Right now, behind the parking lot, you have a wooded area, and there's a lot of phragmites in there, which indicates to me that the soil is absorbing a lot of the runoff. Once you pave that over, I'm sort of concerned that you're not gonna have that absorption. And I just wanna make sure that this is, because of the elevations, you're higher than the residential community behind you. And that's troubling to me. I just want to make sure that you actually have the calculations to demonstrate that they're not going to be harmed.
Yeah, we provided all required calculations per the BMP manual. The stormwater management, the owner is doing a rain garden to provide a better stormwater management design. If you're looking for more volume, I can eliminate the rain garden and just do a grass basin, and that would provide you more volume.
Do you have calculations with the garden, for the garden?
All the calculations were submitted to the engineer for
Okay, so you
review.
have-
Just so you know, the 100-year calculation isn't required, but I asked to see it. That's why you see it in the letter. It's not a requirement per se. Since this is a reduction, and this is a minor project, so it doesn't meet the same rules and regs as a major, but I just wanted to be overly comfortable with it, and I would assume that would have been a final approval presentation, because he's already proved that the first 2 phases are reductions.
So you're happy with it?
I'm comfortable with it.
If you're happy with it, I'm happy with it. it. And the final numbers will be a condition of the final as per his memo.
That in the letter as well.
Okay.
Signed letter.
Signed and sealed letter.
Okay, so you'll provide the final numbers and a signed letter stating the runoff will be.
We'll comply with the engineering comment review letter and provide the required letters that he's requesting.
And that will be part, a condition for the final. Fine. Perfect. Good. Anything else? Any other, did I see, did you have your hand up?
No, no.
I'm sorry. Anything over on this side? Okay. If there are no further questions or comments, motion to open to the public, please.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Bierman makes the motion,
I'll
second
second it.
by Mr. Patel. Anyone from the public who wishes to speak on this project is welcome to come forward and speak. Do you?
They're with us.
No? Oh, they're with you? You can still come up and speak. You may not like him, so you're allowed to come and give him a hard time if you want. Okay. Seeing none, I will close the public portion. Mr. Hambro, do you want to make a summation for us?
Very quickly, I think we've came in here. There were some concerns that the board expressed. We've worked hard to address those concerns and come back with a better plan. I think this will be a benefit, as the engineer has indicated, some improvements to the stormwater and the runoff issues and drainage. You have EV parking spaces as well. So overall, I appreciate the board having us jump through the hoops. It wasn't always fun, but we do appreciate the board's making this a better plan and application. So we leave it to the board to make their decision.
We believe you should both earn your keep.
It did make a better project.
It did, I believe. Yeah, that last meeting was, we
wasn't
all
here.
knew that was not going to go very far, and I'm
Right.
glad you asked
It was a
to
disaster.
pull that back.
Yes.
And I think as a result of that, we still don't have a vote, but this, at least we know what we're getting. Let's say that at this point. Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Shammy, are you ready to give us the outline of a resolution?
Sure, I think I can do that.
Comments first?
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, well, are we gonna do,
You wanna
do you wanna do comments? Anyone have comments, or do you wanna save the comments with the vote?
I do have one comment, I really do.
Go ahead.
Thank you for working with us.
Thank you.
You've been here for a while, I understand that, and thank the owner for being patient with us. By working together, though, the township, the owner, and the engineer, because we met, I believe we have a much better plan than when we started with, all right? And all along, that's all I want for the town, is a better plan. I want them to succeed as owners, and the town not to suffer. And I think we've accomplished both things today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
Oh, yeah. I think they did a good job since the last meeting and addressed a lot of the problems that we had. They did a good job, and I'm satisfied with what they did, and I think it's.
Good, thank you. Any comments over here? Okay, Mr. Shammy, we're gonna make you work now.
All right, let me see if I can get this right. So the motion will be to approve preliminary site plan with the following bulk variances and waivers to construct the 6,600 square foot addition.
No,
5,000.
it's 5,000, what's the exact number?
What is
They
it now?
reduced it.
5,976.
5,970
Six. 976.
approximately square foot addition to an existing office building on a 1.5 acre site in the C2 zone. The variance and waivers requested are as follows. First, there should be a variance from the township ordinance prohibiting parking within the front, side, or rear setbacks, whereas the applicant proposes parking in the side and rear setback areas. Second, the applicant will be given variance relief from the parking and loading requirements in this zone pursuant to section -1151, requiring 15-foot by 30-foot off-street loading at side or rear, and no street loading in a C1 zone, whereas the applicant proposes a 70-foot by 7-foot loading zone shown behind the building. Additionally, the applicant will be given variance relief from the loading area ordinance, section 62-1795, requiring each business within a commercial building to have one loading space of a minimum of 15 feet by 30 feet for commercial loading, wherein the applicant proposes a shared undersized loading zone. So the loading zone is both shared and undersized, the variance from both. A variance from the township ordinance requirement of buffering and screening, section 62-1846 for the C1 zone, which requires a 30-foot deep landscape buffer to the rear, A-8 zone with screening and 5-foot high berm, 20-foot deep screening planting, whereas the applicant is proposing and providing a 30-foot deep area provided on the south or rear with some landscaping, 16 feet through 47 feet provided on the east side. Additional trees will be provided, and the applicant will agree to comply with tree plantings, tree location, size, species, and the like to the satisfaction of the Shade Tree Commission. The variance being required because the applicant is not proposing a berm as required by the ordinance. The applicant will comply with the facade signage as per the ordinance. No variance relief is requested there. The applicant will be given a waiver from the township ordinance buffering requirements that land located within 30 feet of the boundary of a residential or mixed-use district shall be known as a buffer area, which shall include a minimum 5-foot berm. And again, that's a waiver. In accordance with the township ordinance, all off-site parking areas shall have a minimum aisle width of 25 feet. The applicants indicated that the minimum aisle width is 25 feet. However, the aisle adjacent to the dumpster pad in the southwest corner of the parking lot are proposed to be 24.5 feet wide. The applicant will be granted a waiver for that. In accordance with the township ordinance, all parking areas within 50 feet or more all parking areas with 50 or more parking stalls shall include pedestrian walkways elevated at least 6 inches above the parking area. The proposed parking area does not satisfy this requirement. The applicant will be granted a waiver for that. In accordance with township ordinance, parking areas shall be separated from on-site access roadways by planted islands having a minimum width of 10 feet. The proposed on-site parking does not satisfy this requirement. The applicant will be granted a waiver from that. The applicant, of course, will comply with the terms and conditions and recommendations of the Planning Board Memorandum of James Campbell dated June 6, 2024, and any previous memorandums provided by the township planner which do not conflict with the most recent as amended memorandum. The applicant will comply with the Bignell Planning Consultants Memorandum dated May 28, 2024, with no exceptions, again, and comply with any prior memorandums from the township's planner which are not in conflict with the most recent of the memorandums. Finally, the applicant will comply with the memorandum of CME Associates, the township's engineer, dated May 30th, 2024. And I believe there was another one. No, May 30th, 2024. And all prior engineering memorandums on the applications which do not conflict with the final memorandum of the township engineer. The applicant, as a condition of final, will provide elevation drawings which demonstrate the appearance of the building and the proposed new structure. The applicant, as a condition of final approval, will provide runoff calculations to the satisfaction of the township engineer. And I think I've covered it all.
Yes, and the only thing is, as far as the elevated walkways, which we gave them, they don't have to comply with They said they would provide curbing and bollards where possible.
Okay.
Just add that in, right? They-
Yeah.
Where possible,
And curving and ballards will be.
will be added, where possible.
Provided where possible.
And the elevation drawing should show the existing building to which the new addition is joined.
Right. The elevation drawing should show the existing building to which the addition is.
Sorry, the elevation of the existing building too.
The existing and
the new.
new
Yeah,
building.
we want to see the whole thing. Right now, it's just an outline.
Right.
Okay.
Mr. Hambro, have I left anything out?
I think there was a letter in terms of the runoff calcs as well, like a certified letter.
Well, I summarized runoff calculations to the satisfaction of the township engineer, but yeah.
Okay.
Well, you've been very thorough, Mr. Chairman.
And,
Thank you.
and you're right, the runoff letter will certify by your engineer that it will take place. And, Mr. Shammy always reviews the transcript and adds onto the resolution items that he might have missed anyway.
Sounds like you got them all.
Yeah, well, it's also subject to the standard terms and conditions of any application of this sort.
So, and you let him look at that before we.
Yeah,
let
he,
him
he'll see the resolution prior to me submitting it to the.
So
Thank you.
We make sure that when it gets here, it's in final shape. We don't wanna
Right.
go through the minutia at that point. Okay.
Very good.
And you'll give us all the stuff that we needed at the final. We know what to do. Okay. Any additions or deletions or corrections that anybody wants to see here? Okay. May I have a motion, please?
Make the motion.
Mr. Patel moved. Second by.
I'll second.
By, I'm gonna let Mr. Salvi second.
Oh, there you go, Mr. Salvi, go ahead. You go.
Okay. Any, comments?
Let's do roll call comments.
Okay. I'm gonna run down the list. So, let's see. We're gonna do Mr. Bierman.
Yes, it took us a while, but I do think this final site plan, not that there's a final site plan.
Preliminary.
This preliminary final site plan is much better than where we started. I like the water runoff much better, I like the park, I like the whole layout of everything. So, with that, I'm gonna say thank you to the applicant for working with us. It's a much better plan, and this one I can say, yes, I would like to see it go through.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Luton, these are out of order, I'm sorry, my list is not alphabetical. Mr. Luton?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Salvi?
Yeah, I echo his comments, and I went through several meetings with you people, and there was a lot of concerns about a lot of areas, and they were all addressed to my satisfaction. And I think you guys did a good job, and like he says, we appreciate the efforts that you put into it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. White?
Yes, no comment.
Okay. Mr. Patel?
Yeah, same here. Thank you. I know it's been a little bit of a long journey for you. Appreciate all the effort, appreciate the improvements that we requested, and I say yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Patel, you will not be voting, I know. Ms. Khanna?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the patience and working with us. I think it'll be a good project, yeah.
Yes. And I also vote yes, so the motion for the resolution carries 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I believe, did I leave anybody out? 1, 2, 7, 0. Okay. Thank you very much. Good
Thank
luck
you.
on this project. We hope to see you back pretty soon at some point.
Yep.
And you know what we all expect from you. So thank you very much. I believe that's it for this evening. Our next meeting will be July the 10th. Correct.
Yep.
Look forward to seeing everybody then. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Mr. Luton, second by Mr. Patel. Good evening, everybody.
Thank you.
Enjoy the
Happy
5th.
4th.
Happy 4th to everyone. Thank you again. And thanks for a good job by everybody. Good.
Okay.